Hi, Sports Radio fans. I do apologize. We ran into a little bit of a technical difficulty. All of a sudden, the Spreaker system that we use to go live weekly here on the IE Wrestling Show just automatically shut down the minute I started talking to y'all. I don't know what was the cause of that. I have internet, and I got my hotspot on as a backup, and everything should have been fine. I have no idea why the program just shut down on me like that. But I am back on the air as fast as I could have been for your guys' entertainment. I am live right now on Spreaker. Thank you for tuning in. If you're sticking with me, I do greatly humbly apologize, and thank you for sticking with your boy, the SoCal Saint. I am live. This is an all-new edition of the IE Wrestling Show. What is good, everyone? I'm glad that everyone is here. I hope you're listening live. If you're in the chat room, please hit me up, send a shout-out, show some love. If you're listening live, give a like, share, and subscribe. If you're listening later on one of the downloads, on one of our many platforms, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts. If you're listening on YouTube, please like the page, like the show, share, subscribe. Please give a thumbs up. Please follow me on the X at IE Wrestling Show. Follow IE Sports Radio at IE Sports Radio. Check out our awesome website at iesportsradio.com. You can join for free, and where you can interact and check out blog postings and daily message board postings from the many members of the IE Sports Radio family. And you can also check out our merch store if you want to show your love for IE Sports Radio. Throw some shekels our way and buy yourself an awesome hat, a sweater, a hoodie, and a t-shirt for yous and yours. Check it out, guys. Also, please check out planetjerky.net. It is the home of our official sponsor for the IE Sports Radio. It is Planet Jerky. That is 100% beef brisket, beef jerky. It is delicious. It is completely 100% homemade, no MSG, low in sodium, high in protein. It is delicious, low in sugar. It is so good. I've tried it myself. It is delicioso. Please go to planetjerky.net right now and order yourself some delicious 100% beef brisket, beef jerky. Planet Jerky. This jerky's on a whole other planet. Ooh, yeah! And thank you all for tuning in. Shout out to Jen B. She's in the chat room. Thank you, Jen. I do appreciate that. Man, we got a loaded card, as they say in the world of professional wrestling, for IE Sports Radio today. With that said, I am the first on the docket with the IE Wrestling Show. Thank you for tuning in. Coming up later on in the day here on this awesome Wednesday morning for some on the West Coast, and Wednesday afternoon for the rest of us in the central and eastern part of the United States. We got the Carolina Cast coming at you at 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Pacific. Then we got Spaced Out Sports with Jay coming on at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 5 p.m. Central, 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Then we got the East Coast Red and Gold Show coming at you at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. Then we got you coming at you with the Bayou Bulletin coming at you live at 5 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That might be a typo, because that's two shows coming on at the exact same time. I do apologize for that. I didn't write that. That's the IE Sports Radio PR page that did that, so that might be a typo. So if I get an update on what show is coming on at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I'll let you know later on in the show. But right now, we got two shows coming on at the exact same time. That can't be right. Later on tonight, one show that is not going to be interfering with another will be at 10 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. Central, 7 p.m. Pacific. That's the Heart of Texas Sports with It's Jeruski, finishing out the day here on this awesome Wednesday of IE Sports Radio action. So, guys, man, before I get into wrestling news, last night's Monday Night Raw was probably one of the best episodes in a very long time of Monday Night Raw. I mean, Raw has been pretty solid for quite some time, especially since the beginning of the year, with everything rolling into WrestleMania. Oh, well, excuse me. Jen just corrected me. Jen in the chat room just corrected me. So I was totally I did not know that. So apparently, yes, the East Coast, the the Red and Gold show. Oh wow, let me go back to the listing. I'm so sorry. The East Coast Red and Gold show and the Bayou Bulletin will both be on at the exact same time. One of the shows, East Coast Red and Gold, will be live on YouTube, going on at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And then the Bayou Bulletin will be on Spreaker at 8 p.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Thank you for clearing that up for me, Jen. I do appreciate that. That's us. That's IE Sports Radio fam working with IE Sports Radio fam to correct, to when one of us is wrong, they at least correct us. So I apologize. Thank you. Thank you for that. Anyway, Monday Night Raw was a fantastic episode last night. High praise for the segment that involved a returning CM Punk. That's right, the Second City Saint, the straight edge superstar himself, CM Punk, was live in attendance. And of course, why wouldn't he be? Because last night Raw was emanating from a sold out Allstate Arena in Chicago, the home base of one CM Punk. And it was sold out at an awesome number of 15,810 strong. The 11th consecutive sold-out television episode of a WWE product, as announced by Pat McAfee and Michael Cole last night during Monday Night Raw. Some awesome action that took place during that show. If you haven't seen the match between JD McDonough and Ricochet, you need to do yourself a favor and check it out. Check it out on the replay on Peacock, or check it out on YouTube. I'm sure you can find the highlights from that match. What a great, awesome match. The crowd just ate it up. Awesome match between Sami Zayn and Big Bronson Reed last night to further along the storyline between Sami Zayn and Gunther heading into WrestleMania for that Intercontinental Championship. And like I stated a few moments ago, CM Punk returned in Chicago. He was live in Chicago, and got into a verbal assault. Well, I mean, he actually committed a verbal assault against not only the number one contender to the World Heavyweight Championship, Drew McIntyre, but the World Heavyweight Champion himself, Seth freaking Rollins. And CM Punk is still, even though he's on the IR list right now, football terms, even though he's on the IR list right now, CM Punk is still very much in the mix for that World Heavyweight Championship currently held by Seth freaking Rollins. CM Punk and Drew McIntyre really got into it, going back and forth. And one of CM Punk's insults towards Drew McIntyre, which I couldn't believe they even gave CM Punk the green light to even say on a WWE nationally televised product, was when Drew McIntyre referred to himself as the Chosen One. CM Punk called his bluff and said, "Who called you that? Who named you the Chosen One, huh? I dare you to say his name." For those in the know, many years ago, during Drew McIntyre's first run in the WWE back in the early to mid 2000s, which would have been around 2007, 2008, Drew McIntyre was given the name the Chosen One by none other than the man who is now persona non grata, he who should not be named. I am talking about Vince McMahon. And so I can't believe CM Punk even said that, or even alleged at the, just even kind of said that, like, it was crazy. I mean, it was just a huge segment. It did huge numbers for Monday Night Raw. That specific segment of Punk and Drew McIntyre, and Seth freaking Rollins did the highest numbers of any segment on Monday Night Raw yesterday during the broadcast. And Punk was not done trolling, as apparently on his official, I think this was his Instagram, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, he tweeted a picture. He posted a picture of a phone, of a phone. I didn't even know they still have these anywhere in the United States. A actual phone booth, or a payphone in the Allstate Arena under a sign that leads to the restrooms, saying, "Thank you, all 85,000 turnstile count from the Chicago delegation of you that came to the show last night. We set records, gate, amount of time it took to leave the parking lot. merch, swears, ketchup on hot dogs, one according to Chicago delegation at Indy Hartwell. You're still reading. That was the last thing written on there. So for those who don't know, this was a total shot at AEW and their inflated number for the live attendance of All In that took place last summer in London, England at Wembley Stadium, which of course was the last appearance of CM Punk in All Elite Wrestling, where he defeated Samoa Joe to retain his Real World Championship in the opening contest of AEW's All In London. And more on that later, especially one of the participants involved in that, one Jungle Boy Jack Perry. I have some news on him as well. And I don't know where my boy Ralph Khalees is. He usually pops up in the chat room. I actually have an update on MJF for him, so I was saving the story for hopefully he's listening live, and if he is, hopefully he'll show up in the chat room, and we can actually hear this, and we can go back and forth about it as well. But not only that, an unannounced, the final boss, The Rock, Dwayne The Rock Johnson, showed up in Chicago during Cody Rhodes' in-ring promo. And all he did was walk up to Cody, whispered whatever he whispered to him, and then went about his business. We didn't see The Rock again until later on the evening after Jey Uso defeated Shinsuke Nakamura in an awesome one-on-one main event match, which led to the Bloodline, Jimmy Uso and Solo Sikoa showing up to try and take out Jey Uso, who was then saved by Seth freaking Rollins and Cody Rhodes, which led to Cody Rhodes beating Jimmy. He was fighting Jimmy heading into the back of the backstage area. Seth freaking Rollins was still out there going fist to fist with Solo Sikoa, which then showed up out of nowhere. Drew McIntyre came to take out Seth freaking Rollins. And then we got a shot of the backstage area. Jimmy Uso nowhere to be seen, but the final boss, The Rock, had showed up and just started beating, assaulting, just decimating Cody Rhodes, hitting him with a trash can in the head. He hit him again. He hit him about 2 or 3 times with the trash can, kicked him all the way out to the arena. The assault continued into the parking lot of the arena, where Cody Rhodes was thrown against his bus, his travel bus, multiple times until it busted him open. The Rock, for the first time ever, I think in a long time, I don't think we've ever had an F-bomb dropped on WWE television, on purpose anyway. I know there was an accidental F-bomb dropped by Vince many years ago. I forgot what the segment, I think that involved Shane and Stephanie for some reason. But anyway, that's beside the point. The Rock holding a bloody Cody Rhodes' face in the palm of his hand and just told him, "You're going to find out at WrestleMania, you're going to find out that you don't fuck with the final boss." I mean, chills, guys. Chills. And then Rock, to add insult to injury, pulled out a weightlifting belt, much like what Cody Rhodes wears to the ring before he hands off to an excited, awesome young fan in the crowd. His American Nightmare weightlifting belts that he always wears around his waist on the way to the ring. The Rock had one for him as well. But this one had the Brahma Bull dead center in the middle of the weightlifting belt. And then in black letters it said Mama Rhodes on either side of the Brahma Bull. It was a direct shot at Cody's mother, Mama Rhodes. He grabbed Cody, wiped his hand across Cody's bloody forehead, and then smeared Cody's blood on the weightlifting belt that he says he will present to Mama Rhodes at WrestleMania. This, guys, we are only 9 days away from WrestleMania. 9 days away. Anything can happen between now and WrestleMania Night 1 on Saturday, April 6th. But man, the heat has been turned all the fuck the way up, guys. WrestleMania is definitely on the horizon, and WWE is pulling out all the stops. We are going, no pun intended, all in on WrestleMania. They already have, if you're in the Philadelphia area and you're listening to me live, I'm sure you've been driving around the downtown area, the area of where the stadium is. Lincoln Financial Field, and you're already starting to see the flags of WWE's WrestleMania with Bianca Belair, Rhea Ripley, Becky Lynch, Cody Rhodes, The Rock, Roman Reigns, their visage all over that, Bayley, their pictures all over Philadelphia, and they've already started to construct the WrestleMania 40 stage. Currently, they're getting ready early, guys, because WWE will descend on the city of Philadelphia starting next week. It'll be a week-long celebration for WrestleMania, and not only that, multiple indie promotions will be in attendance as well for WrestleMania week. This is the biggest year for professional wrestling, the biggest time of the year for professional wrestling, period. This is where not only WWE makes their biggest contribution to professional wrestling, but the indie world as well. And we'll get into that here in a little bit, because if you cannot make it to WrestleMania's The World, WWE The World, which is their little convention that's going to be going on for 4 days in Philadelphia, there's another convention that you can attend that happens every single year during WrestleMania, and I'm going to talk about that actually right now. It'll be live from the Sheraton Philadelphia in downtown Philadelphia from April 4th to April 7th. It is WrestleCon Philadelphia, the biggest independent wrestling convention there is. Every single year, WrestleCon shows up in the same city that is presenting WrestleMania, and you get to meet legends, indie darlings, and much, much more. And these are all the guests that will be in attendance for WrestleCon Philadelphia from April 4th through April 7th of 2024. Guys, he's only showing up for Friday only. The recently retired icon himself, former AEW World Tag Team Champion, the man they call Sting, will be in attendance Friday only. That's Friday, April 5th. And there's be more information for him as well. Former WWE superstar, a UFC Hall of Famer, former SmackDown and Raw and WWE Women's Tag Team Champion, Rowdy Ronda Rousey, will be in attendance at WrestleCon Philadelphia Saturday only. That's going to be Saturday, April 6th, where you can meet and take photos with the rowdy one, Ronda Rousey. And we got some indie wrestlers as well. One called Manders will be in attendance. ECW legend 2 Cold Scorpio will be in attendance at WrestleCon. Abdullah the Butcher, WWE Hall of Famer Abdullah the Butcher, will be in attendance. For 2/3 of the AEW 6-man tag team champions, the Acclaimed, will be in attendance. Former WWE Intercontinental Champion Ahmed Johnson will be in attendance. Formerly known as Top Dollar, current TNA wrestler AJ Francis will be in attendance. He's the current owner of OVW, former ECW superstar, former WWE superstar Al Snow, Ali Catch, Andrew Anderson, Angel Metro, former TNA Knockout Champion Angelina Love, AEW superstar Anna Jay, WWE Hall of Famer Arn Anderson, Ashley Sabara, formerly known as WWE's Dana Brooke, Atrocity Cruel, August Atrocious, former WWE superstar Barbie Blank, better known to WWE fans as Kelly Kelly, Ben Kay, former ECW manager of champions himself, Bill Alfonso, will be in attendance. The 1/3 of the AEW 6-man World Tag Team Champions, Mr. Ass, Badass Billy Gunn, will be in attendance. Of course, he's going to be in attendance here in Philadelphia in his backyard. ECW legend, the Blue Meanie, WWE Hall of Famer and father of WWE superstar Randy Orton, Cowboy Bob Orton, will be in attendance. Bobby Fulton will be in attendance. Former WWE and ECW wrestler, the Boogeyman. TNA superstar Brian Myers. Former TNA Knockouts champion Brooke Adams. Current AEW superstar Brian Keith. Bryce Remsburg. Former WCW superstar Buff Bagwell. Bushwhacker Luke. Former WWE Women's Champion Candice Michelle. Former WWE Cruiserweight and ECW World Champion Chavo Guerrero. one of the best podcast hosts in the world today, and definitely one of the best interviewers in the world today of professional wrestling and of celebrities himself. Chris Van Vliet will be in attendance at WrestleCon in Philadelphia. Current AEW manager CJ Perry, Colt Cabana, WWE Hall of Famer Diamond Dallas Page, AEW wrestler Danhausen, Dave Sturcio, former ECW legend Dawn Marie, WCW and former WWE superstar Dean Malenko, the tag team known as Demolition, Doink and Dink will be in attendance, the Dragon Kid, AEW superstar Dustin Rhodes, Devon Dudley, that's right, Devon Dudley will be in attendance, former WWE referee and TNA Hall of Famer Earl Hebner, Eddie Martinez, from GCW Effie, former WWE superstar Elijah, formerly known as Elias, Ernest the Cat Miller, the Queen of Extreme herself, Francine, will be in attendance, Fred Ottman, better known to WWE fans as Tugboat and Avalanche, or excuse me, Typhoon, I got that wrong, Fuego del Sol, one half of the former ECW Tag Team Champions, the Pitbulls, Gary Wolf. Gene Snitsky will be in attendance. Gia Mitchell, WWE Hall of Famer, The Godfather. AEW superstar Harley Cameron, former TNA superstar and a wrestling legend of WWE, ECW, WCW, and Lucha Libre, Hector Guerrero will be in attendance. Henry Godwin, Ho Ho Lun, the Honky Tonk Man, the daughter of Roddy Piper, Teal Piper, and her tag team partner Deimos, formerly known as the Iconics, the Inspiration will be in attendance at WrestleCon. Izzy Moreno will be in attendance at WrestleCon. J-Rod, Jake the Snake Roberts, James Ellsworth, Janae Kai, Jasmine St. Clair, Jason Knight, Jason the Terrible, Jasmine Allure, former WWE Champion Jeff Hardy will be in attendance, former ECW World Champion Jerry Lynn, WWE Hall of Famer Jerry the King Lawler, Jesse Cressa, better known as ODB, Hacksaw Jim Duggan, Jim Mulaney, former ECW referee, JJ Escobar. Wow, I did not know she was going to be making an appearance at WrestleCon. Former WWE announcer and the widow of Bray Wyatt, JoJo Offerman, will be in attendance at WrestleCon. Jonathan Grisham will be in attendance. Jordan Grace, the current TNA Knockouts champion. Josh Alexander. Josh Chernoff. Justin Credible. Chaos. Katie Forbes. Casey Navarro. Ken Patera. Kerry Morton. Killer Kelly. Kona. Former WCW superstar Conan. Kota Manuro. WWE Hall of Famer and former WWE champion himself, the Olympic gold medalist, it's true, Kurt Angle. KZY, La Rosa Negra, Lady Frost. Wow, former boxing champion himself, Larry Holmes, will be at WrestleCon. Wow, random. WWE superstar and former WCW World Heavyweight Champion Lex Luger. Lindsay Dorado, Lindsay Snow, former WWE Women's and TNA Knockouts champion Lisa Marie Verone, better known as Victoria. Lita will be in attendance. Little Guido, the whole group themselves, Los Baricuas, will be in attendance. Lou Nixon, Maka Ito, Mance Warner, Mandy Sachs, better known as WWE superstar Mandy Rose, will be in attendance. Maria Kanellis, Mariah May, Mark Sterling, Marty Jannetty, Masato Tanaka, Masha Slamovich, the indie god Matt Cardona, Matt freaking Hardy, Matt Riddle. Let's see who else. Matt Riddle, that's a big one for WrestleCon. Matt Riddle. I'm sorry, don't mean to give you guys dead air. Here we go. Matt Tremont, Mae Valentine, Mackenzie Mitchell, Mickey James, Mike Chioda, Mike Rawless, Mikey Whipwreck, Mil Muertes, Miro, Misa Kate. Wow. I didn't know he was going to be at WrestleCon. Former WWE superstar Muhammad Hassan will be in attendance at WrestleCon. The current TNA X Division champion Mustafa Ali, Nails, Natalia Perez, Necro Butcher, Nick Nemeth, Nick Wayne, Nigel McGuinness, Nikki Duke, Nina Samuels, Onita, member of the indie wrestling scene, a Golden Globe winner, and a cast member of Cobra Kai, Paul Walter Hauser will be in attendance at WrestleCon. Perry Saturn, Powerhouse Hobbs, The Powers of Pain, Psycho Boy Fodder, Queen Anamita, Ram Kachow, Raven, Real One, formerly known as Enzo Amore, Reby Hardy, and the Hardy Baby. Random. Red Velvet. Woo! Nature Boy, Ric Flair. Ricky Morton, Ricky Starks, Rikishi, Rob Van Dam, Robert Gibson, Ron Simmons, damn! Rosemary, The Fabulous Rougeaus, Rio Sato, Sabu, Psyche, Samu, The Sandman, Santana, Sawyer Wreck, Big Papa Pump Scott Steiner, Serena Deeb, Sergeant Slaughter, The Franchise, Shane Douglas, Shane Mercer, Shayna Wayne, Shaza McKenzie, Shelton Benjamin, Sid Vicious, Skinner, Sky Blue, SoCal Val, Sonny Ono, wow, Steph D. Lander, The Lethal Weapon, Steve Blackman, Summer Rae, Swoggle, the Japanese buzzsaw Yoshihiro Tajiri, Tarzan Duran, Tasha Steeles, Tatanka, The $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase, Holla Holla Holla, Teddy Long, Tennille Dashwood, Terry Reynolds, The Berserker, The Bunny, The Great Alufa, Thunder Rosa, Tito Santana, former ECW owner Todd Gordon, Tom Brandy, Tommy Rich, Tony Atlas, the voice of AEW, Tony Schiavone, WWE Women's Hall of Famer and legend Trish Stratus, Ultimo Dragon, Velvet Sky, Veronica Kane, Vert Vixen, Victoria Crawford, Viva Van, Wardlow, Willow Nightingale, Zaya Brookside is the last member of the WrestleCon list of guests. Guys, WrestleCon tickets are on sale still at WrestleCon.com. That's going to be April 4th through the 7th from the Sheridan downtown in downtown Philadelphia, guys. All right, let's move on to some wrestling news, guys. I got some wrestling news for you. I see Ralph. Shout out to Ralph. He is in the chat room, so I got an update for you, buddy. I know you're asking me about the man, the myth himself, of course, MJF, and this is the update I have for you. This is an article courtesy of Sportskeeda.com. Former AEW World Champion Maxwell Jacob Friedman has been out of action since the World's End pay-per-view last year, where he lost the World Championship to Samoa Joe. Following the defeat, MJF suffered a beatdown at the hands of Roderick Strong, Matt Taven, Mike Bennett, and Wardlow, who revealed themselves as the Devil's Masked Men, with Adam Cole revealing himself as the Devil. Of course. MJF was written off TV due to real-life injuries, and recent comments from Fightful Select's Sean Ross Sapp suggest that the 28-year-old might be in for extended downtime. And this was a recent Q&A session from Fightful Select. Sean Ross Sapp answered a question about the former AEW World Champion MJF. Still healing up. I know some things were progressing slower than what they anticipated, but MJF was always planned for some time off anyway, from what I understood. I don't know if that was once the injury started to happen, but it had become clear by a month out of that pay-per-view, World's End, that he was going to have a pretty extended amount of time out. While there are reports about MJF's injury, fans are convinced that the AEW star might be headed to WWE. It all started when Cody Rhodes used the term salt of the earth during one of his promos, which was last Monday night on Raw. Not yesterday, this was last week. Yesterday, not 2 days ago. This was a week ago, Monday. Fans immediately caught on the fact that MJF used the same term during his promos. MJF's profile was removed from the AEW roster page in January of 2024, which intensified the rumors of him joining forces with the Stanford-based promotion. However, this is merely a speculation at this point. It will be interesting to see when and where the former AEW World Champion returns to action inside the squared circle. So right now, to Ralph and other AEW fans that are wondering what is going on with MJF, that is the update right now, is that his recovery time is a bit slower than what they anticipated, and we may not know when or where MJF will turn up next. If I get any further updates, you'll hear it here first on the IE Wrestling Show, guys. We got some other indie news. This is actually courtesy of Kayfabe Soup on Facebook. This is an update on the National Wrestling Alliance, NWA. NWA Hard Times 2024 from Dothan, Alabama drew a legitimate 1,535 paid fans from the Dothan Civic Center. The event which was once a yearly pay-per-view, was used as the title of a set of NWA power tapings scheduled to air via the CW app over the coming weeks. NWA announced a return to the venue on December 14, 2024, titled Looks That Kill. NWA Power streams every Tuesday on the official CW app. So that's good for NWA to have a sold-out show, 1,535 strong, for their NWA Power tapings. That's actually good. That's really good to hear that NWA had such a strong showing in terms of fan attendance. And speaking of NWA, this comes from their official Facebook page. The National Wrestling Alliance is thrilled to unveil the momentous tag team tournament known as the Crockett Cup will return, set to electrify Forney, Texas, on Saturday, May 18, 2024. The Crockett Cup is a storied and revered tag team tournament in the world of professional wrestling, known for its rich history and legacy. First introduced in the mid-1980s by Jim Crockett Promotions, the tournament quickly became a highlight of the wrestling calendar, showcasing some of the most talented and iconic tag teams in the industry. Over the years, the Crockett Cup has featured legendary duos such as the Road Warriors, the Rock and Roll Express, the Midnight Express, and many others, captivating audiences with their incredible athleticism, teamwork, and ability in the ring. Now, as the NWA proudly announces the return of the Crockett Cup, fans can once again anticipate an extraordinary display of athleticism, passion, and competition as the next generation of tag team stars write their own chapter in the tournament's illustrious history. Get ready for an unforgettable journey as the Crockett Cup returns to captivate audiences and cement its place as a true cornerstone of professional wrestling. And then we have a poster here, guys. It's going to be live from the OC Theater in Forney, Texas, May 18th, 2024, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. The NWA presents the 2024 Crockett Cup, and tickets are on sale now at nwaliveevents.com. That's once again at nwaliveevents.com. Doors open at 6, and bell time is at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, and it will also air live on the CW app. This is big, guys. That's one of the highlights of the NWA from way back in the day with the Crockett Cup. Former TNA Knockouts Tag Team Champion Killer Kelly has finished up with TNA at the Sacrifice pay-per-view that just took place a couple weeks ago. The company, TNA, has been teasing a new partner for Masha Slamovich in the weeks ahead, or they will be teasing a new partner for Masha Slamovich in the weeks ahead. Per PW Insider, Killer Kelly is now no longer under contract to TNA. And speaking of superstars who are no longer under contract to TNA, apparently TNA is about to lose two more big names in TNA. Two former TNA World Champions. Most recently, a former TNA X Division Champion and the former TNA World Champion. I'm talking about Chris Sabin and Alex Shelley. The Motor City Machine Guns are currently no longer under contract to TNA. They finished up at these recent TNA tapings that took place over the weekend, and apparently they are now free agents to go wherever they please. They can go to New Japan, they can go to AEW, they can go to WWE, who knows, but they are now currently no longer under contract to TNA Wrestling any longer. And I feel that's a big hit to TNA, especially with this relaunch of the TNA brand name. That's really unfortunate to see two staples of that TNA brand name, such as the Motor City Machine Guns, Shelley and Sabin, gone from the company so soon after the relaunch of the company. Did the ousting of Scott D'Amore have anything to do with that? Possibly, but I haven't seen any reports that say that. But we shall see. Let's see. Oh, okay. So I mentioned earlier, whenever I was talking about CM Punk taking a shot at AEW when he was talking about All In London, which was his final appearance in the company. And that was due to a backstage fight that he had with one Jungle Boy Jack Perry. And lately, Jungle Boy Jack Perry has now been plying his trade in New Japan Pro Wrestling. And apparently, if you were to listen to this report I'm about to read from the wrestling newsletter known as the Wrestling Observer, we all know it. I always talk about it here. You have to take everything that I say here with a giant grain of salt because of the source is Brian Alvarez and Dave Meltzer, who are usually 99% of the time full of shit. So take it with a grain of salt, guys. According to the latest Observer report from Brian Alvarez, Jack Perry denies that he ever apologized to Tony Khan for All In, saying he refused to initiate first contact and didn't hear from the AEW president for 2 months following the incident. He finally met with Khan in November of 2023 before AEW's Full Gear pay-per-view, where they discussed a December return. However, according to Perry, these plans were scrapped when Punk returned to the WWE at Survivor Series. He's still under AEW contract, but only because AEW denied his request for a release. He says he hasn't spoken to Khan in months, and there are currently no plans to bring him back to AEW. So apparently, Tony Khan would rather hold this kid's contract hostage and let him work in New Japan Pro Wrestling than to fire him. So, I don't know. And a lot of it is apparently, according to Jack Perry, it's because of what happened with Punk. Apparently Tony Khan is holding a grudge against Perry, saying that he's the reason why Punk is no longer with the company. And I mean, that's a valid argument, honestly. I mean, we'll see. I'll keep you all posted on that, guys. So, WWE announced via their social media platforms that they are bringing back the Slammy Awards, guys. The Slammy Awards are going to be live April 7th. They're going to return on April 7th and will air live from the WWE World at WrestleMania, which is the convention that WWE is holding during WrestleMania weekend. And I believe it's going to air live on Peacock, and it will be hosted by none other than Kathy Kelly and former WWE champion himself, Big E of the New Day. It's really exciting to see Big E going to be back on television. It's going to be good to see Big E's energy back on WWE television. I really can't wait to see the Slammy Awards. And I will give you all the link when they release the link, hopefully within the next few days or possibly next week, to start voting for who you guys believe should win in the categories that they will present at the Slammy Awards on April 7th. Logan Paul recently stated on an episode of his Impulsive podcast that he has announced his retirement from boxing, stating that he's all in with wrestling and that he's better at wrestling than he is at boxing. So that put it, because a lot of people, I guess, were thinking, like, was Logan Paul still going to be doing this two-sport thing going between the world of wrestling and the world of boxing? No longer. Logan Paul is definitely taking it more seriously. He's been training at the Performance Center on a regular basis. Logan Paul is all in, pun intended, I suppose, with his wrestling career. He is officially a full-time WWE superstar. And WWE has got a new show coming out that's going to be airing on the Roku channel starting April 1st of next week. It is going to be called WWE Next Gen. It's going to stream for free on the Roku channel, and it is executive produced by none other than WWE legend himself, John Cena. And a lot of WWE superstars will be involved in this show. Triple H is shown on the show. Bianca Belair was seen. Head trainer of NXT, Matt Bloom. Big E Langston of New Day. And this is actually going to be, it's going to be like a reality show, of course, where WWE really brings you to the side of their NIL program, which is the Next in Line program, where they scout wrestlers, potential future WWE superstars out of college, where they do tryouts to try to bring them into the fold, and we'll see what happens. It looks interesting, very interesting. They released a trailer on their social media platforms earlier this week, and I'm actually looking really forward to it. It looks like it'll be good, and you can actually sign up for the Roku channel. It's absolutely free. You don't have to pay to subscribe to that channel, and the show will air and stream for free on the Roku channel starting April 1st. We're going to take a short little break, guys. When we return, we're going to discuss the current card for NXT Stand and Deliver and WWE WrestleMania. We'll be back.
Yo, what's going down? This is Spaced Out Sports with your host, J-Man, giving you all Houston sports straight from the source. Brought to you iSports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. In this show, we're going to talk about everything Houston, through and through, and everything. We're going to talk about the surrounding areas. We're going to talk about local sports, everything in Texas in general, mainly Houston, but we're going to talk about everything in the sports world. I want to hear from y'all. Y'all definitely going to hear from me. We're going to go from anything all over, from football to MMA to everything. Let's have a good show. I'm looking forward to hearing from the city. Y'all make sure y'all just check me out every Wednesday right here at Spaced Out Sports, brought to you by iSports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. Let's go.
What's good, everyone? It's Drewski, the host of Heart of Texas Sports on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. On this station, we cover everything in the Dallas-Fort Worth, Texas area. From we cover the Dallas Cowboys, the Dallas Stars, Dallas Mavericks, Dallas Wings, Texas Rangers, TCU, SMU, we cover it all right here. Every Wednesdays from 9 to 10 p.m. Central Time. Make sure you stay live with me on the Heart of Texas Sports on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
Welcome back, IE Sports Radio fans. If you're just now tuning in to the IE Wrestling Show, which is your direct feed for all that is professional wrestling on the only network that is your direct feed for all that is sports, IE Sports Radio. We discussed the lineup for the WrestleCon independent wrestling convention that's taking place separate from WWE's own wrestling convention, which is the World. That's going to be taking place both during WrestleMania weekend. And I also discussed what took place last Monday night on Raw, which was 2 nights ago, where The Rock left the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes, beaten and bloodied, with his blood smeared on a weightlifting belt that is meant for Cody Rhodes' mother, who The Rock keeps referring to as Mama Rhodes. The return of CM Punk live in Chicago as well, and he will be live in attendance for WrestleMania. And speaking of WrestleMania weekend, guys, things are heating up on both ends of the WWE spectrum. Talking about, of course, NXT, which is going to be live with NXT Stand and Deliver, live from the Wells Fargo Center in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. It'll be streaming on all platforms during WrestleMania weekend, basically including, of course, mainly Peacock. If you don't subscribe to Peacock, I suggest you subscribe to Peacock. With WrestleMania only 9 days away, guys. It's time to jump on that, okay? And this is going to be taking place the same day as WrestleMania Night 1. It's actually going to have a special start time of 11:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So it's going to be an earlier afternoon event, since WrestleMania Night 1 will take place later in the evening. And these are the matches that are set for NXT Stand and Deliver. First off, we're going to get an NXT Tag Team Championship match between the champions. Baron Corbin and Braun Breaker will be defending their NXT Tag Team Championship against the winners of the NXT Championship Eliminator Tournament, which is actually going to take place next Tuesday on NXT on April 2nd. The teams are including here Latino World Order, that's Joaquin Wilde and Cruz del Toro, Axiom and Nathan Frazier, and the OC, Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson. The winner of this triple threat tag team match will face Breaker and Corbin for the NXT tag team titles at Stand and Deliver. Confirmed as of yesterday evening on NXT television in a triple threat match for the NXT North American Championship, it'll be Oba Femi defending his NXT North American title against Josh Briggs and Dijak. And then we're going to get an NXT Women's Championship rematch between Lyra Valkyria and Roxanne Perez. The match I'm most looking forward to is the match definitely with the most personal vendetta on the line. It'll be former friends now turned bitter enemies going one-on-one at Stand and Deliver. Trick Williams goes one-on-one with Carmelo Hayes. And then in the main event for the NXT Championship, Ilya Dragunov defends the NXT title against the Don himself of NXT, Tony D'Angelo. Will Ilya Dragunov walk out of Philly with the NXT Championship still in his possession? Or is he going to sleep with the fishes and we're going to have a new Dawn of NXT? We're going to have the new champion, the champion of NXT be the Dawn of NXT, Tony D'Angelo. Hey, forget about it. And guys, I cannot wait. WrestleMania is only 9 days away, and these are the matches that are set for WrestleMania. In a 6-pack tag team ladder match for the undisputed WWE Tag Team Championship, the Judgment Day, Finn Balor and Damian Priest defend their undisputed WWE Tag Team titles against the teams of DIY, The Awesome Truth, The New Day, and the winners of the SmackDown tournament. The SmackDown qualifying tournament that's actually going to take place this coming Friday in just 2 days on March 29th, live on SmackDown. The final matches to find the two final team participants for that 6-pack ladder match. The teams consisting of the final matches will be Legado del Fantasma of Angel and Berto taking on New Catch Republic, Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate. And then the other final match will be A-Town Down Under, Austin Theory and Grayson Waller, and the Street Profits, Angelo Dawkins and Montez Ford. The winners of these two matches will take the final 2 spots in the 6-pack tag team ladder match at WrestleMania. Brother versus brother, twin versus twin, bloodline versus bloodline. It's Jey Uso versus Jimmy Uso at WrestleMania. And after last week on SmackDown with LA Knight getting arrested in front of AJ Styles' home in Atlanta, Georgia, this feud has definitely gone even more personal than I thought it could. It'll be LA Knight, going one-on-one with the phenomenal AJ Styles. In a triple threat match for the WWE United States Championship, Logan Paul is going to be put to the ultimate test in his first ever title match at a WrestleMania, defending his United States Championship against both Kevin Owens and the Viper, Randy Orton. And for the Intercontinental Championship, Gunther defends the Intercontinental title against Sami Zayn. Can Sami Zayn have this comeback? Can he defeat Gunther for the Intercontinental Championship? Can he stop the undefeated streak of championship victories that Gunther has been on for 600 and plus days? Or will Gunther add Sami Zayn's name to the list of defeated opponents on his reign to continue his reign of Intercontinental glory? The Women's World Championship will be decided when the mommy takes on the man. Rhea Ripley defends the Women's World Championship against Becky Lynch. And for the WWE Women's Championship, Io Sky defends the WWE Women's Championship against Bayley. And the only matches that are set, those matches I just listed have not been determined for either night of WrestleMania just yet, but these following matches have. The main event of WrestleMania Night 1 will be in a tag team match. The Bloodline, the Final Boss, The Rock, and the Tribal Chief, the undisputed WWE Champion Roman Reigns, takes on Cody Rhodes and Seth freaking Rollins. If Rhodes and Rollins win, all the members of the Bloodline will be barred from ringside during the undisputed WWE Championship match on Night 2. But if The Rock and Roman Reigns win, the championship match on Night 2 will be contested under Bloodline rules. And the main events for Night 2, Seth freaking Rollins defends the World Heavyweight Championship against Drew McIntyre. And as of this past Monday night on Raw, CM Punk will be in attendance on the commentary table as a guest commentator during the World Heavyweight Championship match. And in a to-be-determined match for the undisputed WWE Championship, the Tribal Chief, Roman Reigns, defends the undisputed WWE Championship against the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes. Guys, we are so close to WrestleMania, I could taste it. Lincoln Financial Field, Saturday, April 6th, and Sunday, April 7th. WrestleMania weekend is upon us, guys. Do yourself a favor and sign up for Peacock now before you miss all of the best wrestling action in the world today. guys, I gotta say adieu. This has been an awesome episode of the IE Wrestling Show. I love putting this on for you guys. Next week, please tune in for a special pre-WrestleMania edition of the IE Wrestling Show. There's going to be no news, nothing like that. It's going to be all WrestleMania. That's all we're going to be talking about next week on the IE Wrestling Show. I'm your boy, the SoCal Saint. It's been a pleasure, guys. Take care. Peace and love, y'all. Stay blessed.